Hey, welcome back. In Sprint 5, which is the one that just passed that I'm just wrapping up right now, I built an authentication system for the LSForm standard, and the app is almost ready to go and to be launched into the App Store, and the following sprint is going to be the sprint where we actually take care of that. Okay, first let's talk about what I said I would do in the last sprint. I committed to building the authorization system so that users could log in. I said I would start filming short form videos and start engaging with social media more. Omar was going to start researching business formation. We were going to improve the headline generation process, and then we were going to learn what it actually took to get into the App Store. We were going to identify what the blockers were there and start to set those up so we could knock them down in the next sprint. And let's talk about what we actually did. I did set up user authentication. I got the email and password stuff set up, but I also got Apple authentication set up, and I was able to link those accounts on the back end so that you can use either one of them and still log into the system. I also learned what's involved in the app submission process. There are a lot of little checkboxes you have to check to get into the store. There are a lot of tiny little things that I still need to do, maybe a dozen little tasks I need to do. And so I've queued those up for the next sprint. That required quite a bit of research, and it's all ready to go now. We also made progress on the business side. We decided to go with an LLC. For now, the LLC will meet all of our needs. We've got the timeline figured out for handling all of that before we launch. And then we also started doing sprint planning meetings and having meetings throughout the sprint where we talked about each of the goals that had been assigned to us and kind of where we were on each of those. That really helped because it allowed me for the first time to really split that labor into two people. And Omar could really run down that stuff, the business side, the paperwork stuff, and I could focus on just the tech and the headline generation. On social media, we made progress in terms of shorts filmed. I was gonna try to film a few more, and I'm realizing that at this point, I'm about to hit 10 videos filmed. And by putting these 10 videos out in the second half of the year, I was able to really improve my craft. I was even able to figure out how to untether that from my Mac for the first time, so I can film those, edit them in CapCut, and get them out onto YouTube all in a single day without having to go through an intensive editing process. I've kind of like nailed down exactly how I want to edit those things. In terms of the actual social media accounts, they're divided into basically two platforms, YouTube and X, and then they are 3 accounts. So there's the LSForm, which is the perspective of the ancient forest god. There is the LSForm Cruff account, which is my account where I post stuff on business development and on filming these videos. That's where this accountability update will be posted. It's where my shorts are posted. And then the 3rd account is the actual LSForm standard account. On YouTube right now, the only one with a presence is the LSForm Cruff account. And then on X, all 3 of them are active now. Of these 3 accounts, the Cruff account is the most active. I'm on there every day and treating it like my primary Twitter account or X account, but the others are kind of there with it. And we've now established a weekly posting schedule, which we plan to adhere to. Okay, on headline generation, I honestly kind of set that to the side a little bit, but I did generate headlines throughout this period. I made several improvements. I found some major pitfalls. I'm also using Claude to generate the scripts that let me insert this into the database automatically so that I'm not having to manually write all those scripts like I was before. I also got some ideas about automating steps of it that are actually going to be kind of essential because of the way the LLMs work. And that's a lot of fun, but I'm going to save a lot of that work for Sprint 7 because I need to get into the App Store, start letting people see it, start getting feedback, and then from there, it's mostly going to be headline improvement and then the articles and images to follow. Another thing about the headlines is that I had a lot more conversations with people, and so I started to kind of nail down exactly what I want these headlines to do. This is a speculative fiction app that is trying to accomplish the goals of something like a parable by showing you your own life in a kind of abstracted way that's just a little bit different, a little bit simplified, a little bit easier to not take personally so that you can learn, some lessons that your defenses or the common way of perceiving things might be blocking you from seeing. On music, I said I was going to try to get the Ballad of LSForm out there onto multiple platforms, but with all of the tech work that I had to do and all of the stuff related to the headlines and social media, I didn't really have time to do that, and it's a much more involved process than I realized. My own reflection made me realize I'm putting a little bit too much in front of the product itself, and I need to get that out there as fast as I can. So that's still coming. It's just a little bit slower than I planned. And then finally, I think I made a lot of progress in terms of the network I'm building around this. It was previously just you and Omar and Peyton who were aware of it, but as I mentioned elsewhere, I've expanded this now through the social media accounts, and then also I'm just talking to total strangers about this now. I was very afraid to talk about this in the beginning. I'm not even the same man I was when I started this project, and I've gained so much confidence in myself and my abilities. And I've just been so delighted by the things that I've seen coming out of this that I just no longer have that fear. And now that that fear is gone, I feel like I'm running a lot faster. In fact, I track very carefully my productivity month to month and year to year using a kind of second brain Scrum system. And in just January of 2026, I have completed as much work as I had completed between January and June of 2025. And that's as much work as I completed in all of 2024. I am kind of flying now in a way that is like breathtaking to me. I haven't moved this fast in many, many years. Okay, what helped me in this sprint is that I gained a tremendous amount of confidence through working on this project and through watching myself on camera and seeing myself improve video after video after video. Also, Omar took over a lot of the stuff that was difficult for me and was eating up a lot of my time. Another has just been getting all this feedback from different people. Like getting all these different perspectives really has helped me clarify what I want. And the negative feedback really isn't bothering me. I'm starting to realize that like I don't need every single person that I've ever met in my life or every friend who understood me at a different phase to come with me. It's okay if it's just me, and the goal is, I guess, to find 1,000 people who are interested in it like I am. And I'm okay if one of those people is from a completely different sphere than I would ever encounter, and one of them is an old friend from my past, and one of them someone I've met in the past year. Like I think I felt like I had to take everybody with me, but that's ridiculous, and I realize that now. So that has helped a lot. Another thing weirdly that has helped me is having conversations with Claude of all things. It's interdisciplinary in a way that I struggle sometimes to have conversations with people about things I am really deeply caring about, because not everybody has read. I've had a very strange life history, as has everybody. And so having this thing that I can talk to about all of these ideas and jump from topic to topic to topic to topic, and we can talk about Derrida, or we can talk about the sacred and the profane, or we can talk about grammatical issues or programming. To have this kind of like sidekick that can help me navigate all of this and kind of synthesize it and help me find other thinkers and authors and places where I can look for information and inspiration, that has just been so valuable. And it also just helps me break things down into individual tasks so that it's not quite so monumental. Another thing that helped is that the rest of the world caught up with me. Like people started to become familiar with little short AI clips, and they started to kind of see the creative possibilities of it. I've even seen a couple influencers who are Instagram only that are now up into millions of followers and are starting to hire film people and are starting to hire sound people and marketing people. When I started this, I could not find those accounts, and nobody else had really seen them either. But now there's so much AI content out there that what I'm doing seems far less crazy and fringe, and it seems more like a valid path to success. And so people are starting to be a little less negative about it. But also internally, I now have seen other people kind of accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish. And I'm starting to see that they're doing it with, I feel like, less focus and creativity than I'm going to bring to this. And so that's given me just a lot of confidence. I now feel like this is inevitable, whereas before I felt like I was making something from nothing. Okay, what hindered me in this sprint? Number one, it was too big. I put too many things in this sprint. There was no way I was going to finish all of this. I actually had a backlog of like 40 other things I wanted to accomplish, and I had to just put them. I mean, I might finish those in May, for all I know. If I had just focused on getting the tech working and on headline generation, I would have had this out so much faster. But there were so many. I mean, there were 100 tasks in this sprint, and just pages and pages, and we would have our meetings. It felt like an endless queue of lemmings just walking slowly towards me that I had to cope with. And that was exhausting. So I need shorter sprints, fewer tasks. I'd like to turn these around in 4 weeks, spend about 2 weeks working on the update video, and kind of planning the next sprint. And I really don't want these to sprawl into the 2 and 3 months. I'm going to start aggressively cutting tasks if that happens this time. Another thing was obviously the holidays were going on, and I just got absorbed in a lot of that stuff. National news weighed on us pretty heavily. We are a multiracial family, and just obviously the stuff with ICE and all of the horrible things happening there caused us as a family to have to make some pretty big decisions and start to plan for some stuff that we were not really hoping for. And so that was just like psychologically a tremendous drain. It in some ways fueled me to work on the project more so that I can maybe become location independent and employer independent. But it also was just this psychological stressor that is hard to describe unless you're one of the people living in that situation. And then additionally, the biggest strain, of course, at this point is just my job. I found some paths out of my job. So at this point, I'm staying there to earn some money and pay down some debt and stuff. But I could at this point quit and still make my life work. So what's next? The main thing is that we're going to get the app into the App Store. I have a checklist of about 12 things I need to do in terms of development to accomplish that. And then I'll have to actually submit it and see if it's approved. I'm going to try to do that development in the next 2 or 3 weeks, and in the fourth and fifth week, should have time for that to go into the App Store, come back, and then resubmit it if I need to. It can happen as fast as a day or take a couple of weeks sometimes. In terms of business development, we're going to continue meeting, continue doing sprint planning, and then Omar is going to actually establish that LLC, and we're going to kind of explore the idea of setting up a business account. We're going to at least make sure that the money can flow through from the subscription and into an actual account that we can then track and deal with taxes and all that stuff on. And then we're going to try to set up and apply for the small business program that Apple has, which will take a pretty big chunk of the money that they're taking away and give it straight back to us. Social media wise, I'm going to continue to film shorts. I'm going to do another one of these accountability updates at the end of the sprint. And I just hope to just keep improving my process there. Like there's a lot of weird stuff that the iPhone does when it's filming, and I'm kind of learning how that stuff works. And as I said before, I'm going to try very hard to keep this sprint focused and small. We're going to try to get into the App Store. I'm going to try to maintain my current social media schedule, and we're going to try to get the business license set up. And then that is it. And we're done. In the next sprint, I'll focus on actually improving the headline generation process and to build out the newsroom on the back end. That's all going to be really fun, and I really want to do it now, but that needs to wait because I need to get the product out so I can iterate and not fall victim to my own psychological trap, which is to get things perfect before I launch. Okay, how do I feel right now? I feel restless. I feel impatient. I want this to be my whole life. I feel like this is my life's work. I feel like it brings together everything about me. My confidence is high. My excitement is perpetual. I wake up every day and think about it. It's one of the last things I think about at night. It's all I want to talk to people about, and I just want to get it in people's hands, and I want to get free of my 9 to 5. And so all of that is how I feel. Excited. I realize this is going to be a long haul now that I've started to get into the social media apps and I've started to think about marketing this thing. But I truly couldn't be more excited about it. And am I a little insecure from time to time? Yeah, but like, this is going to be fun and it's going to be interesting, and it's like a thing that only I can offer the world. And I've spent my whole life training for it, and I'm really excited for people to see it. More than any other sprint, this sprint has narrowed my focus and kind of increased my confidence in what I'm building. And also, I just feel tremendously grateful to Andrew of the past for learning all of these skills so that I could birth this thing. I definitely couldn't build it without the life that I've lived. And this whole worldview that I have about embracing the incoming of the other, it is just, it couldn't have found a better home. And I'm really proud and excited to be working on this. So thank you for tuning in again. If all goes well, then in 6 weeks, this app will be in the App Store and available for download, and it'll finally be in front of people, and seeds will finally be out there planting themselves in people's minds. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your constant support and for asking me for updates and for checking in with me and for bouncing ideas off of me. I love you and I'm grateful for you, and I hope you have a really good day.